What is up, everybody? We are doing a little bit of creek fishing today. I'm stoked to be out here in one of my favorite locations. This is actually right down the road from my house. Have fished it a lot. In summer it gets tough, so I don't fish it as much. However, looking forward to getting a bait in the water today. I brought a couple things. We'll see if we can get anything to bite. There was a heavy rain last night. Thinking it might have triggered these fish. We also had some fairly stained water, which this usually runs absolutely crystal. Anyhow, let's get that bait in the water. Let's see what we can catch today. Well, to say the bite is tough and has been tough around the area would be an understatement. The only fish I'm seeing right now are GAR. So that's what we're going to try to catch. Now, they're not too picky. We're going to throw this fat Albert. Chartreuse really lights up in the water, and it doesn't have a tail they can bite off, so they can shred the tail, but usually good for a few more uses than one of those paddle tails when they do get struck. If there's a bass here, they're likely to take it within the first couple casts, so we're just going to get this out of the way. Oh, that's a good fish. Wow. What on earth is that? Maybe a big GAR, maybe a big bass. It's not really fighting like a bass. I feel like I'm dragging it. I need to cross over, but it seems sketch to do. Oh, that's a giant GAR, man. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So, looks like we got him hooked pretty well. Right there. Come on up. Oh my gosh. He's about to shake us. I gotta grab him quick. These fish, when they get to that size, are extremely powerful, especially in an area like this with good current. We just need to get him out of the water, man. Beach him. Or her. Our lovely GAR. Felt something kind of pop. Going back. 10-pound line. I mean, the way we got her hooked, I think she would have shook us already were it gonna happen. There we go. There we go. And you don't need a rag or anything crazy, just grab them behind the head or the body. Here we go, my friends, within like 2 casts, our first fish of the day. Look at those spots. Absolutely gorgeous, man. I love catching these GAR. I love catching them on jig heads. We got her perfectly through the mouth, man. I'm gonna get her unhooked real quick and we'll get her back in. No, my coffee, man, no. And see what else is willing to bite. Yeah, I see a lot of guys handling these fish, like rags around their mouths, weird stuff like that. I've never been bit by one. I mean, it's probably a good idea to use pliers when unhooking the fish. Once they're out of the water, man, they're pretty docile. There we go. You don't need to keep my plastic either. I mean, just look how those teeth shredded my plastic when I gave it a little tug. Let's get her back in. Thanks for being our first fish here. Absolutely gorgeous, and I appreciate ya. And off she goes. All right, well, I'm super stoked we caught that GAR. Beautiful fish. We're gonna try something else. I've been getting my bait back with the tail looking like it got bit, so We're gonna throw this little tube. See if whatever's nibbling at it can actually fit this in their mouth. I have a feeling I know what's biting at us. I don't want to jinx myself by saying it. It's a very fun fish to catch. Now I shoved a 1/4 ounce ball head in this. I could do the 1/8 ounce tube heads I carry on me, but they're not going to give me that distance that I want right now. I ought to be throwing this on my casting gear, but we're going to work it around on our spinning gear. That shows up nice. And I'm probably going to snag up in a hurry, but bottom bouncing this may be able to get us bit right now. Water seems fairly inactive, but I know there's fish here. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, that feels like a bass or a drum. Small. Not exactly what I am planning on catching with this tube. We'll bring her in. Hey, little bass, that's something. Little smallie. Okay, maybe tube is the win over here. Super tiny, but gotta show y'all better picture before we get you in, buddy. Look at the gold speckling on that fish. Super pretty. Well, they can't all be awesome days. I'm gonna head home, let my dog out, and then we'll head back out this evening to another location, see if we can get a nice bite on. What is up, everybody? Thanks for joining me this evening. I got about an hour and 20 minutes to fish tonight before that sun heads down. So we're gonna be throwing around that Strike King Bitsy tube, my kind of go-to summer confidence bait. Trying to get that evening bite on. We'll see what we can catch. Got a pretty good feeling. Had a really, really nice morning fishing. Took the afternoon off, and I decided to head back out. I'm already seeing fish busting as we speak. We're actually gonna head that way right now. There's a snaggy area, but I got 2 rods, 2 baits tied on. All right, that's a good fish. That is a nice bass, man. All right, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Is that a bass? No, dude, that's a monster gar. It's not really a monster, that's a gar on the tube. Jumping all crazy. Come on, dude. Come on in here. All right, that is a spotted gar, so really, really cool. Not as common as the long nose, which are very, very common in the area. These are very, very beautiful, man. All right, easy. Whoa, man, you're wriggling. I mean, look at that pattern on its head. Look how beautiful. This gar is extremely strong. Really, really pretty. I mean, I'm hoping this camera's picking up the detail on it. The patterning. Spotted gar, one of my favorite species of gar. We're gonna get her back and we're gonna keep going at it. Cool catch, definitely a really, really cool catch. I thought we had a bass on, a big one at first, but I'm happy with this too. All right, girl. Oh, and off she goes. A real slimy lot. Here we go. That's a fish. It's a nice one. A little tube action. Not a bad largie. So tube may be the move today. All right, thanks, girl. Why we are not on the river. Hey, another nice fish, man. It's like back to back. They're getting bigger. All right, so probably got about 20 minutes of daylight left. I've heard a lot of time over there. Fight was promising, kind of tapered off. Did want to throw a couple casts over here on my way back to the vehicle, because you never know. Oh, good fish. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. The sun. Oh, no. Dude. Oh, almost got him. It's always right here. I swear, man. It's right here that this happens. Oh. Man, I cast right into the rocks. My goodness, man. Come on. Why? I almost had him too, man. I went for him this time. I usually don't. Usually don't even make the effort. Looks like he got away this time. Starting us off today is that Zoom Fat Albert, one of the greats, one of the classics right here, weighing in at roughly 4.6 grams. Now I do say roughly because keep in mind we're weighing a piece of plastic here. They do vary a fraction of a gram here and there, so basically I'll take a weight on 2 or 3 of these and I'll come up with a happy medium and round up or down to the nearest somewhat whole number. So instead of 4.61 or 4.59, I'm gonna go with a 4.6. That's how I come up with these numbers, though I do find it very helpful to have a weight on these plastics because obviously it weighs a lot more than you think it would, and it does contribute to your fall rate a great amount. Now, this 4-inch curly tail grub is just one of my favorites. This is the chartreuse pearl color. Very, very durable. I did shred it very easily in that GAR's teeth, but any bait would shred. When it comes to bass hitting this, I will get it use after use after use. I can reset that on the hook without having to worry about it slip down. It's just made out of that awesome Zoom plastic. All in all, stellar bait, great action, great profile to it in the water, definitely gets hit. One of my favorite grubs. Now I did pair that with a 1/4 ounce ball head jig right here. In a very snaggy area, that's kind of why I went with these very light wire hook ball heads, and I typically do. This is the Big Bite Baits one. Not only are they the most inexpensive ball head at my Academy store and the greatest number and greatest range of colors, so it's kind of one of the reasons I buy them. Also, that lighter wire hook right here, I can bend that out and recover my bait about half the time. I don't mind it. Sacrificing a jig head for it. At least I get my bait back when I would have broken off with a heavier wire, and I'm not out here catching Goliath groupers or anything. You know, I'm not worried about that hook bending out. Obviously I could bring in that 3 foot or whatever it was GAR with this, no problem. Now moving on, guys, to the next bait we caught a fish on, that Berkley 2.5-inch max scent tube. Now I got a love and hate relationship with this bait. This one weighs in at roughly 3.7 grams. Old 2.5-inch tube here. There we go, that's what she looks like out of the package, up close. Really, really nice profile to it. I like the smaller size. I like that pumpkin color too. This is that green pumpkin. It's the only one I will buy. It's a nice bait. I have fished it fairly often. The thing I love about it is that it's just a stellar multi-species bait. The smaller profile to it, just the action, the shape of it. I've caught everything from sunfish on it to giant buffalo, the smallmouth buffalo suckerfish. I caught 2 different ones on this bait. So just about anything's gonna eat a smaller bass, a bigger bass. Sure, if we would have casted it long enough, if I would have just sat at that spot, probably could have caught a gar on it as well. Anyhow, guys, what I don't like about it, the durability is lacking extremely heavily. Now, I recovered it after catching that itty bitty tiny little bass. However, I have taken these out when the bass bite was pretty much on fire and I was getting hit. I was getting about a use or 2 out of this tube. So basically I'd catch a fish on it, it'd shoot at my line, whatever, and it would just get shredded completely. I wouldn't be able to reuse it. Every 1 or 2 fish I was going through a tube. So durability wise, it's not there. The other thing I loathe about it, and all the power bait makes sense, is the juice in the bottom. I hate it, man. I don't like handling it. It's kind of gross. It is what it is. I don't like when it spills in my stuff, and that has happened multiple times with these baits. I love the results. You know, they get hit, whether it be the scent or not. Whatever it is, these baits definitely get bit by fish, but when they spill all over your stuff or in your car, wherever, it is a huge pain in the butt, man. Not a fan. All in all, awesome bait. I will continue to buy them because they really do get hit. They absolutely catch fish, but that durability is it's not cool. It is what it is though. It has a great action to it. And the scent juice is just, I'm not a fan of it, but like I said, it gets hit. Now, last but not least, that Strike King Bitsy tube, that 2.75 inch tube, absolutely stellar bait, guys. Show y'all it out of the pack. Now, I'm not really gonna get into it because I wanna do a video just dedicated to these baits. I use them all the time. It's my summer go-to confidence baits. One of my favorite baits of all time, and I cannot capture my love for this bait within this small breaking down the bait portion. I do pair that tube with the 2 Eagle Claw, 1/8 ounce tube head, and it's just a match made in heaven, guys. All in all, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I had a great time making this one. As always, I got some cool stuff coming out every Monday and Thursday. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and get some good fish on, my friends. Peace.